Guys, uh, just waiting for Aisha to join us. We've had serious issues connecting this evening. I'm sorry we're just coming on. Hopefully people will join us and Aisha will be able to join us. Um, I don't know what's happening. I'm just going to go out and come back in because she's not here. Finally, she's here. Hey, finally. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry with the time mess up and all of that. Oh God,
I
we
was
have
so
people joining
confused.
in
I was like,
already.
oh my
Wow,
gosh. I was
okay.
like, what is happening? But okay, no, we're good. We're good. We're in here. I'm so sorry about the
No, no. Thank you for finally making it.
Yeah,
How are you anyway?
absolutely, absolutely. So I'm super excited to chat with you. I cannot wait.
Oh, bless you. Bless you. Anyways, guys, if you're just joining us, I'm so sorry we had a bit of technicalities and all of that. But where anything that has to do with life, something would come up and you can't just help it. Okay. I have my dear friend here. She
Yeah.
is the boss at Balloon Business Magazine.
Mhm.
And I didn't find out about it until maybe early this year. I didn't know there was anything like that. So before we carry on, guys, I'm just gonna welcome you briefly before we carry on. Welcome to Let's Talk Balloons with Byola. So this is like a live show I do once a month to just get people to meet amazing people in the balloon world and just share people doing great stuff, basically. So I have Isha. Did I get the pronunciation right?
It's
Because I know
super
it's,
cool.
it's Aisha that we would call it.
My name is Aisha.
Aisha,
Um,
you see? But
and
I'm using my Nigerian accent. As a Nigerian, we would call it Aisha. So,
yeah,
Aisha.
absolutely. I know
Yeah.
that with my parents decided to be a little bit different and change the pronunciation of my name.
Okay.
But when people call me Aisha, I it's that's how it's supposed to be. So I same name to me. But hi guys, I'm Aisha. I am the editor in chief of the Balloon Business Magazine.
Amazing. Okay. You're the what did you call yourself now? Because you spoke really too fast.
Yeah,
The what
I'm the
of
editor. I'm the
editor
editor
in chief?
of the Balloon Business Magazine. Just meaning that I run the mag. I make sure that it looks good, the articles are out on time, and that I help other all of my creators, source stories for the magazine as well.
Amazing.
Mhm.
So, how did you start this? What made you think, okay, I'm going to start? Because yes, we've got the Qualatex, the
The
what's it called again now?
It's called
Images.
the
Yeah,
yeah, images.
images. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, that was like a magazine, but I wouldn't say is anything close to what you're doing.
Not at all. Not
You
at
know,
all.
so you're
Yeah.
different. It's amazing,
Mhm.
and the editing is off the hook, and the amazing artist you have on the magazine. Oh my God.
Thank
I don't
you.
know. So, how did you start? What made you think, okay, I'm going to start a balloon magazine?
So the magazine kind of came about from me just creating content on TikTok. I kind of started off on TikTok like most balloon artists, at least here. So I'm from Colorado, um, in the US, and a lot of balloon artists here, we would make content on TikTok trying to just show off our work.
Hmm.
I realized that on that platform, we didn't really appeal to a local market, which is what we need as balloon artists,
Mm-hmm.
we were getting eyes from all over the world, which, as a service-based business, it wasn't necessarily helpful for my business. So I'm like, okay, well, how can I'm always looking at ways that I can, diversify my streams of income when it comes to my balloon business. And I said, well, how can I make more money doing this? I mean, I have
Mm-hmm.
people following me, people asking me for my advice. We began like mentoring and coaching. So this is why like some of my platforms is still named Balloon Business Mentor.
Okay.
And a lot of people were asking us for like a subscription group where they could talk with me monthly. I think my problem with that was, we're balloon people. Subscription groups, in general are they're very boring, and they're very business oriented. While I do mostly talk about business and my content, I wanted it to be something that balloon artists it would appeal to us. And when I first started my balloon business, I was only doing photo shoots for magazines and people that would pay for content. I wasn't a real like a I wasn't doing many balloons for events. It was all for photo shoots. So I
Oh.
decided to take those two
Were
skills
you
together.
creating the designs yourself, or what were you
For the magazine or prior to?
prior to the magazine? Like, because you just mentioned now that it wasn't like you were doing balloons for business as such, you were creating for photo shoots.
Yeah, so I would create the designs myself. I was working with a photography studio, and so we would get briefs from the client on what they wanted, and then I would just create the set, and I would use balloons as my medium 100% of the time. Um it was rare that I would do I never really did, and I still don't today do a lot of children's events. It was mostly weddings, things that could be very, very stylized. Um and so, yeah, I was creating all the designs myself, but I decided to take that skill and combine it with what people wanted, which was something, information from the monthly, and give them something they had never seen before. And so that's kind of how the Balloon Business Magazine came about. Our first issue of the magazine dropped in September of this year, so it's still fairly new.
Mm.
Um, and we're still learning like how to get it done as a balloon artist because there is nothing else like this out right now, so there was
Mhm,
nothing for
mhm,
me to really model it off of, and I think it's something that people have not seen before. It's very much like a lifestyle publication. So if you look at Harper's Bazaar or Vogue or any of those magazines, it really will remind you of that rather than something like Images where it's more, "Hey guys, this is what's happening in the
mhm,
balloon world." Um, so yeah, that's what the Balloon Business Magazine is. We talk a lot about business, but it's about the lifestyles behind the balloon industry and the artists, rather than just showcasing just our work
the
or
work.
product. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask you now because so when I went through your Instagram, what really struck me was the black edit.
Mhm.
That was insane. Like, why or what made you do that? And I'd like to know the process that made you come to end up doing that.
So I wanted to do something that celebrated Black
Before
creators.
you go, sorry, Isha,
Yeah.
can you tell us what the Black Edit was about? Because I know it, but nobody knows it.
Yeah.
So before we just jump into, sorry.
Absolutely. So every other month, we do a special edit of the Balloon Business Magazine that's printed. And that special edit, or the Black edit, was in celebration of Black creators. Um, that edit showcased some of my favorite Black balloon designers in America, and how different and multifaceted we all are. That edit was at first it was gonna be very small, just a Black history thing, but it kinda turned into something where I was being a rebel in the industry. For the balloon industry specifically, there is it may seem like we're a diverse industry, but truly and honestly, we're not.
Mm,
A lot of Black designers don't fit the aesthetic that a lot of our favorite balloon brands, our bigger distributors who typically will sponsor a balloon artist like. And I had been getting so many complaints from other artists that they feel like they are not seen, that they feel like they weren't good enough. And I wanted to prove with that edit that there is no excuse for you to say that you can't find a Black designer that fits your aesthetic or your style, because I showcased the very best in the industry from different genres. So we had balloon artists in that magazine that were very like luxury, very bold. Then we had, something that we called the boho style, which is really earthy. We had people who were more fun, bright, and bubbly. And then we had artists like myself who were more adult designers. So it really showcased how multifaceted we are as balloon artists, not only, but that we have Black skin. And that issue was very interesting how it was perceived after it came out. Um, it took a while for it to get sold. I was sitting on that magazine for so long, just afraid that only the people that I actually wrote and put in it would be the ones that saw it. And I
mm,
heard some very interesting feedback from it too. So it kind of just put a fire under me that while I am inclusive with all of my edits, and you if you look back at some of our covers, we have white women on there, we have Mexican women on there, we um everything. I really want to put a huge focus on creators of color because we don't have that platform yet, and we
mm,
still deal with those things in the industry.
mm. Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. Guys, if you've not seen the black edit she did for it was in March, right? Because it was
It
for
came out, it dropped in February, and
okay,
it ran up until maybe 8 days ago. It's still available. If you
okay,
guys head over to our website or our Instagram, if you look up the Balloon Business Magazine on Instagram and hit the link in the bio, you can still find that edit.
okay.
It actually ships from the UK, which is super cool. So
Oh,
if you
really?
guys are over
Amazing.
there, you'll get it a lot faster than we do over here.
Really? I didn't
Um,
even know you shipped from the UK. So you do the print from here.
yes, yes, I do the print from there.
Ah,
I selected that print company so that everybody around the world could have access,
I bet.
and mainly because
Easy.
I really want to break out of only what we're doing here in America as far as balloon decor, because all over the world, I mean, there are such trendsetters, and we're actually a little bit behind, in my opinion. And so I want to be able to work my way up to do a global edit where I could showcase some of my favorite designers from around the world and give them access to be able to buy it as well. So
Mm,
that's why we chose that publishing company there in the
amazing. Okay, so
UK.
my next question is, how long have you like dabbled into balloons or realized, okay, this is where I want to like just be?
Yeah, so excuse me. I started balloons officially during the pandemic. I had lost my job. I
Mm,
had a 5-year-old at home who was learning, going to school from, the computer, who was still learning to read. And
sorry.
I didn't have any money. And I was like, oh my goodness. So during April of that year, it was his birthday. And I just wanted him to feel special. So I put up a balloon garland, put it up on YouTube, or I'm sorry, on Instagram, and just kind of took off from there. So officially, my business has been going since 2020. Um, so about 3 years now. But prior to that, I was a wedding planner, and I had
Mm,
saw these balloons on Instagram that nobody in my city was doing. And so that's how I kind of learned and started to dabble. But I didn't start taking it seriously until, I had to during the pandemic.
yeah. A lot of people came into balloon artistry during the pandemic, and some have brought in so much positivity into the industry, um, and it's helped the industry like evolve into amazing things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've got the downside of it because we have a lot of people coming in and they are not putting the value they're supposed to put into the business. because they still have that in their head, like
Yeah.
it's just balloons. And when
Yeah.
you have that, you're gonna like just be stuck in that phase. Like,
Yes. So that's one of the things, and that's the reason why I think that people really of, I'm sorry. That's one of the reasons I think that people really align with my content specifically, is because one of the things that I don't do is sugarcoat, and I'm very
yes, you are.
excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm getting over a cold, guys. But I'm very harsh in the way that I might say certain things, and I'm very
Mm,
matter of fact, right? So one of the things that really kind of took me my platform to where it was on TikTok is the fact that I speak about the COVID business starter quite a bit. And I
mhm,
have a love-hate relationship with COVID business starters because I am one.
mm,
However, I do see the downside of this influx of balloon businesses popping up during the pandemic and what it's done to the industry. One of my favorite people to learn from is Aviator Balloons Renee, that you had. I think it was last month or the month
2 months
before that.
ago. It's been two
Yeah,
months now.
had her on here. And she's a classically trained artist, and she's been doing this for years.
Mm,
And so, learning from her has really opened up my eyes to where it's like, man, the stuff that we were learning, just trying to watch YouTube videos and just Googling things was not the right way. And we missed a lot of that classic training and that classic business training that we
mm,
needed in order to continue our businesses and make this a long-term business. Personally, my unpopular opinion is that the COVID business starter, we kind of came in and we really skewed the industry, and we
mm,
made extremely accessible to
mm,
everybody, and without charging the right way, without designing the right way. And it's really hurt the industry. So now, one of the things that I talk about a lot is the art of gatekeeping.
mm,
Um, I know, like, when I grew up watching like your videos and other creators' videos, but I think it's interesting that a lot of us took the content like that you would be making and said, okay, well, we can run a whole business without understanding the backside
mm,
of
mm,
what
mm.
goes on. So I'm interested, like, from you too. How do you feel about that? And does that change the way that you make content?
What's the question? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So one of a lot of the time with us as COVID business starters, we we felt like we watched a couple of YouTube videos and we're like,
Mhm.
okay, Byola taught us how to do it. We could go run a business, but we didn't understand the back end, the business, and
Now, for me, I always make sure I say to people, see, yes, you have the YouTube tutorials. Yes. But you still have to have a proper training. Like you need to know the basics. You need to like um attend conventions if there's one happening in your area. You need to find someone in your area. I try to like tell people they have to because I didn't get to where I am without doing all of that. If you get what I mean. I've
Yeah.
not spent how many years now? Going to 13 years in the industry, not doing any of that. Apart from the fact that I'm blessed with the skill, like I've got the creativity, I am able to see stuff and, do stuff back from what I've seen. I still make sure like I try to attend events, whatever I can attend. So I make sure when I do all my creations, my tutorials, I tell people, you have to attend physical trainings. If you don't have anyone to like, if you think, okay, in my area I can't find anyone, ask me and I'll point you in the right direction. I offer one-to-one trainings myself too. I get people that have watched my video come to me for one-to-one classes. And I try to like pour in as much as I can. And another thing I tell people is it's just not that one-time training. It's a continuous thing. You just even those that we know are like advanced, or we say, oh, they're like up there in the industry. They still watch other artists just to learn a new skill. So It's a continuous process. It's just like a lawyer or what profession. You just have to keep,
Any profession really has to do
yeah,
continuous training, right?
you just
I
have to like keep, improving,
yeah,
learning.
yes.
But
Mm,
not everybody will listen to that advice. Not everybody would see that that's the best way to go. But we can only do so much.
I 100% agree with you there. I think, and I'm so glad that you're mentioning that too, because, like I said, I just have seen it where so many artists will get on YouTube, learn to do organic decor, and then enter into the industry because we've made the barrier to entry extremely low. They'll
Mm-hmm.
enter, say, guys, I'm a balloon artist now. And they're not running the business the correct way. And I think,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for some people, they might say, well, that's their business, like it doesn't affect me. But I feel like it affects all of us
Oh, it
because,
affects the effect is on everyone.
yes,
Everyone,
exactly. It
because
affects us.
there's less value.
Yes.
But the thing is, for me, I don't have to post a picture of what I've done every week. It is not
Right.
it is not a competition. It's about
Hmm.
me putting food on my table. It's about
Yes.
me being able to like sustain myself.
Yes.
So if the job is coming and I'm not getting anything out of it, what's the point?
Exactly. Exactly.
So I think a lot of these people need to understand that bit
Hmm.
and
I
then,
agree.
find out. And from my own side, I keep trying. Like I've got videos on pricing. I've got the long one, but people are still even not ready to like watch that. And
Oh my gosh. Can we talk about? I don't know. I don't know what your advice is on this, but I
mm,
think I broke the internet a couple of weeks ago, right?
okay.
I came out with a an ebook that said you need to be charging at least $28 per foot
Mm-hmm,
to be profitable. And the amount of people that were so mad at me. And it was crazy to me because I'm like, I'm just telling you to charge more, you
mm-hmm,
know,
mm-hmm.
because for some reason it goes around over here that the magic number to pricing is $20 per foot.
Okay.
And we do the math and we look at the numbers and the statistics and the
It
cost
does
of
make
living.
sense.
We're paying $8 for a carton of eggs, and in my
Mm,
city, dollars for a gallon of gas. I'm like $20 an hour at a job isn't enough. $20 per foot for balloons is definitely not enough to run your business. When I said that, oh my goodness, people were not ready. So that just confirmed to me too that a lot of us in the balloon industry, the hard truth is that we are complacent. We're looking
mm,
at information that was given years ago. We're not staying up to date and trying to increase our pricing as the world increases its pricing so we can stay up to date. And a lot of us a lot of us don't use this as a the business that feeds our families,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
either because we don't think that we deserve that or because we have um other situations in our lives where we don't necessarily need to and we've turned this into an expensive hobby. But for some of us like myself, we use the balloon industry to truly feed our families.
mm-hmm.
This is my full-time job. I don't do anything
Exactly.
else. I
Mm-hmm,
balloons in the magazine all day. And that is the kind of content that I make for this magazine. And that is the artist that I'm talking to. The ones that understand I have to do this to make money. And although some of the things in here might be an eye opener, might not, it might feel uncomfortable. It's putting a fire under me to go and actually do a profitable business. I have a degree in business administration. Like that is where any business that I've ever started or anything that I've undertook was based around those business fundamentals. So I offer a different perspective. My idols are not people who were in the balloon industry. I look to people who are in Forbes. You know what I mean? So
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
information that I'm giving is setting people up to be able to get these long-term, businesses that'll last for generations rather than, just for a few years or so. Because
mm-hmm.
after 2 or 3 years, you start to see them kind of decline
Yeah.
and leave the industry, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 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 That's the thing. We need to understand that I think most of the time, those that actually do not put the value in are people that have got like something else. They've got, so like they see it as their side business. But even at that, like if I'm using all the money I'm paid to do a job to buy the balloons itself, then what's the
What's the point?
point?
Exactly.
You know, you're putting time, the brain work. You have a big job and you're planning, especially if the client has booked you like months ahead. You're there planning, getting, if you're using backdrops, you want to know what colors you want there are times I spent time matching colors, thinking
Yeah.
of
Oh my
the
god.
colors that that
Hmm.
alone it could take days to figure out,
Exactly.
you know
Exactly.
the time you're spending to like speak to the client on the phone, you have to get paid for it. The
Yeah.
time you're spending to place the order, to buy your stuff from the suppliers, you have to, get paid for it. I just hope people like tend to like get the message that it's not about someone trying to slight you, but it's just for the benefit of everyone. Like we just need to like look back and be like, okay, I made so much from, doing this and this. And I see people that have used being a balloon artist to run a large family, to like send their kids to the best schools. So why
Exactly.
can't you do that yourself too? Yes, I just hope people would, get the message and we, end up all doing better to have a better business atmosphere, especially now that the cost of living is insane. You get
Crazy.
when I give prices that people are like, "Oh, why is it so expensive?" And then I'm like, "But everything is expensive. There's
Everything.
inflation." Like,
This is a service. One of the things that I tell, so there's some important takeaways from what you just said. Time is the resource that you cannot get back. You can
mm-hmm,
always make more money, but your time as a business owner, you should understand that your time is the most um precious, valuable resource. And so for me, I would rather not leave my house for something that is a waste of time. I don't make I don't do balloons just to make content, just to get the
mm-hmm,
most Instagram, just to have people say, "Oh my gosh, those are great." And with social media, a lot of artists do that. A lot of
mm-hmm,
artists are giving out free tips and tricks and all this stuff that their clients can see
mm,
because they get the like, because they get the follow, and it feels good for a little bit. But I'm like, are these people purchasing from you?
mm, mm,
If you look at our Instagram, it's very small compared to a lot of artists. We're at like 2,300 followers.
mm-hmm,
Yeah. But each and every one of those followers, each and every one of those people in our community, we talk to them.
mm-hmm,
They have purchased something from us
mm,
and they continue to buy from us. And so I'm all for quality over quantity. I'd rather take one job a month that is $15,000 and then for the rest of the month be able to sit in my bed or go on vacation or go to brunch if I want to, than 1,000 jobs at $100, or you know what I mean, or whatever. That so I'm working a lot more because my time is so valuable.
mm,
Um, and yeah, so I 100% agree with you there that I hope to see a shift with artists,
mm-hmm.
that need to start demanding, put some respect on the balloon business industry.
Yeah,
People already see us as a child's product. They
yeah,
already take us out of the budget first. When you want to cut a budget, you cut balloons first.
mm-hmm.
They will, what did you go to clown school to learn balloon art? And I'm like, I'm an artist. Are you kidding me? A clown school? Because people think it's a joke, but we
Yeah,
as balloon artists, they're beautiful, amazing work, and how hard and taxing on your body this is.
mm,
And so by charging more, by understanding the industry and getting those trainings, you are making it harder for new people to come in, yes, and just do whatever, but you're also signaling to your clients that this is a reputable business
Mm.
practice, and we deserve to get paid just as much as a florist in a wedding. You know,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Amazing. Okay, so my next question is, so what are your like what how what are you seeing in the future for Balloon Magazine? What
yeah. So the Balloon Business Magazine, I hope that, gosh, and I've never really even, because I just take it day by day, right?
mm,
But I hope that this is a magazine that every balloon enthusiast wants to collect.
mm,
Like I said, we do 4 to 5 yearly prints, but every month I have a new digital cover that we're just sharing these stories of balloon artists all around the world. And I want this magazine to be something where people are like, if I need to learn the balloon business and learn who to follow or read their stories, we start with the Balloon Business Magazine. Because in that I link back to classes. We talk about what's hot in the industry, the new colors that are coming out, classes and seminars and all sorts of stuff, and the people who are teaching them as well. So I want that to be the space where people are like, okay, I think I want to start a balloon business. Let me pick up this and let me figure out who's who in the industry and who I need to learn from.
mm,
Or I want it to be a place of inspiration for people too, where they buy one of the edits and they want to collect it and keep it on their coffee table because the work in there is so timeless and beautiful
mm,
that it could continue to inspire them.
mm,
So that's what I see. I see this being something that happens long term, and that it's a staple in our industry, and also is something that people who aren't even in the industry can take a look at and say, wow, balloons are cool. Like, we need these and we see why they cost so much. So that's what I see from the magazine, and hopefully we continue to grow. We're still in our infancy stages. It's still
mhm.
so new. And like I said, I'm learning new things every day. It's hard work. I write
Yes.
all day, every day, interviewing people and stuff, but it's so rewarding to get those messages where people said that article changed my life, or that product that you suggested just completely changed the way that I did business. It makes it all worth it to me. So yeah, that's my goals with the magazine, hopefully. And we'll see.
Amazing.
It changes over time, but for right now, today, that is what I hope that it becomes.
Amazing. And I'm wishing you all the best. And I hope you get to that level where we can pick up the Balloon Business Magazine off the shelf anywhere in the world.
Yes.
That I hope for you. Okay, so my final question. Oh, I think more people are now joining. We're almost rounding up. Okay, so what tip and advice do you have for anyone just coming into the industry? What would you like to tell them?
Goodness. You know what? I think what I want to tell people entering the industry, if I could offer them one thing of advice, is to be an artist without fear. Um, I think when we replicate designs, a lot of balloon businesses look the same right now. The reason for that,
That's the same.
it's a hot take.
Well,
I
the
just made
funny
a
thing
video
is,
on this.
the funny thing is, I find it difficult to actually replicate. If I when I try it, it comes out.
It
So I
looks
just
bad.
do my own thing. Like,
Exactly. Exactly. Just you got to be an artist without fear, because the reason that we replicate is because we're too afraid to really step outside the box and use our imaginations.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
so with me, I might put something out there that I know people might not like.
mm.
It happens in my magazine. Like I said, there's always at least one or two articles where I know I'm pushing people's buttons, right? But when I do that, it just solidifies my place in the industry. There is nobody that can replicate
Mm,
my mind and my design style. And so
absolutely.
I just implore artists to be artists again. Balance business with artistry and understand when to be more streamlined and replicable over being something completely unique. In a saturated market like ours, there is still a need for you if you come in here with a different point of view. And do that regardless of what you think people on Instagram will like, regardless of what you think other balloon artists or, these sponsors would like. Design for yourself what makes you happy, because there's going to be clients who are willing to pay top dollar for that uniqueness.
Mm, absolutely. That's the thing. Like, just be you, just do you. And I try to tell in almost all my videos, I'm always saying this, like, do not overthink it. Do not look at anybody else's creation. Do not think, oh, I want to. No, just be you. As long as you have it in your head that you can do it, do
Mm-hmm.
not give up. Okay, let me give an instance. My YouTube subscribers got to like 40,000. I noticed it 2 days ago.
I'm at 2 subscribers, so my goodness.
To go, and, it just came to me, and I'm like, oh wow, this took me 8 years or thereabout to get to 40,000 subscribers. And then you see some people that would come on YouTube, and within a year, they've got like over 1 million. But there's something I believe in. I believe in not giving up. I believe in just doing it, because my time is my time. No one else can take my time as long as I don't give up. So if you're watching us now, just to buttress what she said, just be you, create, be amazing at what you do. Um, Make sure you learn the ethics of the business.
Yeah.
Qualitex still has so much information. You could just buy the QBN.
Oh,
Even if you don't want to.
absolutely.
If you don't want to be a CBA, you could buy the. I know people that are on the QBN that didn't bother to be a CBA, but they're doing amazing. If you don't want to be a CBA, just learning the basics as a QBN member would do you so much good. So you could just get that. Yeah, if you want to find out more about that, you can send me an email, and I would put you in the right direction. Um, so also, are you gonna do like an edit of like where people can like do, maybe you could do one where people can like do trainings, and because I know that's what people come to me for most of the time. Oh, I don't know where to train. I don't know how to find someone that will train me in the States, in the UK, and
Yeah.
I
I
think that
think
would be a great
I definitely want to. There's some edits where I'm looking at now, I'm like, this is lame. Let me just change it out. Well, it's
mm,
my because it's my business, I could change it real super fast. But it did come to me the other day that I should be doing something like that. I don't know if I would make that a special edit, because I want the special edit to be something that's like aesthetically pleasing, and sometimes business and trainings is not. But I will definitely be working on a digital version where people can click the links and actually go to these trainings. I think that is very, very important. And I think that's going to be a big undertaking. But my goal for that edit, when that comes out, is to be able for somebody to look in their region and also buy, not necessarily their region, because there's things online all the time, but mainly by, what they're lacking in.
mm,
So if I'm lacking in the finances part, I want to be able to offer reputable classes that I can go to and easily look up. Or if I'm lacking in the design area, we could find artists who are lacking in that area too. So I'm slowly putting that together. I'm just collecting a bunch of resources. I've been taking a lot of the classes myself. And because I do not, I take a lot of classes. I do a lot of things for people, and I will not recommend them if I see a
mm,
flaw in them.
mm,
Uh, it's usually me and like a couple of my contributors that write for me, helping me look through these classes and figure out which ones we really think are best, so that there is an unbiased opinion. But we want to make sure that we're only offering, the best of the best that really give information. Because
but
here's another
yeah, and
thing.
value for money.
Yeah, because here's another thing. A lot of people are teachers these days.
Oh yes.
Everybody's a balloon teacher, okay? And not everybody was taught the correct way.
Mhm,
It's like me
mhm.
going to be a doctor, but I learned how to play operation. It's not the same. So, we just want to make sure that, because we understand that your money is so important.
Mhm, mhm,
A lot of
mhm,
us business people, we're not rich. We can't
mm.
even afford our own services.
Yeah.
So I know that
That
money
is
is
why I don't
tight.
do parties.
Yeah, exactly. I don't do parties. I can't afford my own balloons. That's crazy. But I want to make sure that your investment is in, it takes you to the next level.
Mhm,
There
mhm,
was a time where my light bill was due. My
mm.
lights were going to cut off. There was a class for $350. It was the same amount as my light bill. I struggled. I was like, man, I want to take this class, but I need to pay my lights. I took the class and I cried the whole time because I
Wow.
was like, will this make me any money? And thank
Mm,
God it did. Thank
mm.
God that class was like, it propelled my business. But there's a lot of time that I've taken classes where I was just like, I left kind of like, did I
I
just
didn't even get
did
any
I just get
message.
scammed? Yeah, did I just give away $400? I don't want that for people. So
Mm,
that edit that we work on with that will definitely be a collection of the best and the best of the
mm.
industry, I think.
Ah, that'll be great. Anyway,
Yes.
thank you so much. I don't want to hold you up too much. We're already going into an hour. So guys, thank you for joining us this evening. If you have any questions before we go off, can you drop a comment?
I'm here for it.
The viewers are increasing, and
I know.
we're about to run off.
I
If you
know.
have any questions for us, can you drop it? If not, we're gonna log off now.
Yeah.
You could send me an email afterwards. And yeah, join me next month, June, for my next guest. If you have any guest suggestions, let me know and I'll
I have
bring
a
them on
ton
the
of them for
show.
you. I have a ton of them I
Um,
would love to see you talk to. And Byola, I'd like to invite you on to the Balloon Business Magazine to interview with us over on Instagram. I think that'd be super cool. Um,
amazing.
so
Okay.
we can continue because this is such a good conversation, girl. I
I
wanna.
know. I know. I know. I know. I know. Okay, guys. If no one is dropping any questions, yeah. So I'll see you next month with another guest. I don't have a date yet, but I'm going to be bringing someone you would love to hear from. This is just to inspire us, to let you know that people doing amazingly in the balloon industry. You just had to get it right. There's so much money to be made. Let's talk balloons in the month of June, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, Isha.
Thank you.
We'll chat later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.